This is a story about the hardest questions. Not the questions with answers in the back of the book, but the ones that keep you awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if anyone is listening. Why do we suffer? What is good? What is wise? What does it mean to live? The books we are about to explore do not come from a nation at peace. They come from a people who have seen their city burn, their temple reduced to ash, their children carried off in chains. These are the writings of exiles, of survivors, of those who have returned to rebuild on the ruins of everything they once believed. Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. These are not history books. They are the interior life of a shattered nation searching for meaning. They blend prayer and poetry, proverb and philosophy. They argue with God. They praise God. They doubt whether anything matters at all. And they do not always agree. In fact, they argue with each other. Job will challenge the tidy formulas of Proverbs. Ecclesiastes will question whether wisdom itself can deliver what it promises. The Psalms will hold both praise and accusation in the same breath. This is wisdom literature. It is not a unified system. It is a conversation, sometimes a heated one, about what it means to live under a God who cannot be controlled or fully understand. And it begins with a man named Job. There is a land called Uz, far from the familiar hills of Israel. The sun sets slow over open fields. Flocks dot the horizon like white stones scattered across brown earth. Servants move through courtyards. Children gather for meals. The air smells of grain and dust and the ordinary rhythm of a blessed life. Job is the richest man in the East. 7 sons, 3 daughters, 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 donkeys, a household so large it takes an army of servants to manage. But wealth is not what defines him. Job fears God. He rises early to offer sacrifices on behalf of his children, just in case one of them has sinned in their heart. He is careful. He is faithful. He is, by every measure, blameless. The story could end here. A good man, a good life, a quiet death surrounded by grandchildren. But the scene shifts. Somewhere beyond the veil of human sight, a council gathers. The sons of God present themselves before the Lord, and among them one called the Accuser. "Where have you come from?" "From roaming through the earth," the accuser replies, "from going back and forth in it. Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him, blameless, upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." The accuser smiles. Does Job fear God for nothing? You have put a hedge around him. You have blessed the work of his hands. His possessions spread across the land. But stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will curse you to your face. The words hang in the air. Very well. Everything he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on Job himself. The accuser departs, and the sky over Uz begins to darken. It happens on a single day. Job is sitting in the shade when the first messenger arrives, breathless, wild-eyed. The oxen were plowing and the donkeys grazing nearby, and raiders swept down and carried them off. They put the servants to the sword. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Before Job can speak, another messenger stumbles through the gate. Fire fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and the servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Then another. Raiding parties attacked and took the camels. They killed the servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. And then the final blow. Your sons and daughters were feasting at the oldest brother's house. A mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the four corners of the house. It collapsed on them. They are dead. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Job rises. He tears his robe. He shaves his head. He falls to the ground. And he worships. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job does not sin. He does not charge God with wrongdoing. But the test is not over. The accuser returns. The council gathers again. Have you considered my servant Job? He still holds fast to his integrity, though you incited me against him to ruin him without cause. Skin for skin, a man will give all he has for his own life. Stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will curse you to your face. Very well, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life. Job wakes covered in sores. From the soles of his feet to the crown of his head, his body becomes a ruin. He sits among the ashes, scraping his skin with broken pottery, trying to find relief where there is none. His wife stands over him. Are you still holding on to your integrity? Curse God and die. Job looks up at her. His eyes are swollen. His voice is hoarse. You speak as a foolish woman would speak. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? He does not curse. He does not explain. He does not pretend to understand. He only endures. 3 friends hear what has happened. Eliphaz, Bildad, Zophar. They travel from distant lands to comfort him. When they see him from a distance, they do not recognize him. The man they knew is gone. In his place sits a figure so broken, so disfigured by grief and disease, that they weep aloud. They tear their robes, they throw dust into the air, and then they sit with him on the ground. For 7 days and 7 nights, no one speaks a word. They sit in silence because they see that his suffering is beyond words. The silence stretches. The wind blows ash across the ground. The stars wheel overhead. And Job waits. He does not know about the council. He does not know about the accuser. He does not know that his suffering has no cause, no lesson, no hidden sin to confess. All he knows is that everything is gone. And God has not spoken. This is where the drama of Job begins. Not with answers, but with questions. Not with resolution, but with anguish. And here is what makes Job so dangerous. It attacks the very foundation of conventional wisdom. The ancient world believed, and much of Proverbs affirms, that the righteous prosper and the wicked suffer. Do good, receive good. Do evil, receive evil. It is a tidy equation, a moral universe that makes sense. Job shatters that equation. Here is a man who did everything right and lost everything anyway. His suffering has no cause. There is no hidden sin, no secret rebellion, no lesson he failed to learn. The story has already told us what Job does not know. He is being tested without reason. The wisdom literature of the Bible does not offer easy comfort. It does not promise that the righteous will always prosper, or that the wicked will always fall. It offers something harder. It offers honesty. And it dares to ask whether our formulas about God might be wrong. The world is broken. Suffering comes to the innocent. The silence of God can stretch for years. And still, the question remains. Is there meaning in the darkness? Thank you for listening to this first episode of Wisdom Literature. If this exploration of Job, Psalms, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes was meaningful, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and sharing it with others who might be searching for the same answers. In the next video, the silence will break. Job will open his mouth and curse the day he was born. The lament will begin.